house. Big Zeus. Here's the people's house. Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Yeah, Big Zeus, it's the people's house. Big Zeus, powers in the air. Big Zeus, we knocking on the door. Big Zeus, we wanna hear your soul. Yeah, yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside, and the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block, head buses make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
I'ma bring it back in the people's house. Powers in the air, it's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear your soul.
1600 Pit Ave is on the way. Alright, because they say I don't make music anymore, but I gotta the rest as well. So it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's get this show started. You know exactly why we are here, what we came to do.
Crossing Radio.
Yeah. I feel like I'm stuck in a cycle. It's like I'm stuck in time. It's like a curse. And I can't escape it.
Uni, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Deja vu.
Are we ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these raps. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean.
Gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you get your famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac.
It did.
I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Am I right, Heaven?
Let's go. And if they use my ex, that mean they love me. They don't get replies if they text me.
Let's go.
I say it with my chest cause I'm mean.
Here it goes.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Let's do it.
Call me the master with a new one.
Alright, here it goes. Here it goes. The liars.
I'll tell you what.
This is what they say.
I'm sitting to get a drug test.
Getting a drug test.
Shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
Wow. It got me.
Deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Oh my god. It hurts every time. Alright. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back. We are back in the Thunderdome, and I am your host. I'm your pilot. And you know exactly why we are once again gathered here in the incredible Thunderdome, where basically anything goes at this point, but it's nothing we can never ever handle. We always manage whatever occurs in the kingdom. But before we get started, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of guess who? Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons. All right, and now it's starting to become clear after our family meeting yesterday that I have to start expanding the services that I offer within my own party. And so we'll have family meetings here. All right. So anyone that believes the Democrats made a terrible mistake in this previous election, I'm going to start having honest conversations about those, as well as continue, because the MAGA demon is actually making you believe that, right? And so I'll continue to have those discussions, as well as obviously confronting the most dangerous person and the threat to the United States of America in terms of our democracy, which is the MAGA demon, which is being, as far as I'm concerned, you know what, brought to us by you know who, the guy behind me. No, I don't want to do any battling. But before I get started, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say, what? Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is, well, because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. The second H is, well, because I am humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, I have no problem issuing an apology, because I actually do believe apologizing when you're wrong is a sign of strength and not a sign of weakness, right? But we know the people on the right would never ever use words like I'm sorry or I made a mistake, my bad. They won't ever say that, but I'll say that because that's how humble I am. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, and you all know what it is. It's probably one of the most important H's ever known to mankind. It is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Now, like I said earlier, many of you know exactly why I am here. What we do every morning is very special. We hold these people on the right accountable for all their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, especially their hypocrisy. These people are some of the biggest hypocrites ever known to mankind. And what we don't do is we don't allow Trump supporters to ever pretend to us like they are somehow victims, because the moment a Trump supporter tries to act like they're a victim, right? Oh, we don't like criminals coming into the country, we're going to hit them right back. Didn't you vote for a criminal? W, Zeus. You voted for a criminal, right? So that's the hypocrisy, right? And the most one thing that they've done, and I'll never forgive them for it, but, you know, God forgives, I don't, right? What you did on January 6th, I don't care if you get 3, 4, 5, 100 pardons and he gives you $100 billion. As far as I'm concerned, guilty as charged. You're seditionists, treasonous traitors. So, no. I don't allow them to be victims around me. But you know what? If they do apologize, I might consider it, right? But they won't apologize, like I said. So listen up. Do we have any Trump supporters out there in the chat this morning? Because today, I want to make sure I address all of the issues that are going on, especially, you know, what happened yesterday. And we'll address that in just a second. But any Trump supporters out there, please identify yourselves. This won't take long. I just want to give you a heads up about how this show works, all right? What I do is it's incredible, not just me, but all the wonderful people who've been a part of this operation that we're doing, which is obviously getting out here and debunking all of your conspiracy theories and your lies and combating the misinformation in real time so that no stone is left unturned. Even if you go and watch Fox News after you watch a show like what we do, you're going to know when Fox News is making things up, right? And if you listen to Donald Trump, you'll know when he's making stuff up, which is all the time. So what I'll say is this. If you are a person out there that is, as my good friend Brother Swervin likes to say, you're lactose intolerant, that means you have an allergic reaction when the truth is being shared, do me a huge favor. Leave right now and you go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts. And I'm going to say it again. Go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts that pretend like they got all the information and they'll post screenshots. And all they're doing is they're lying to you and crying at the end of the day. They're not telling you the truth. I tell the truth. All right. And not just me, the people that get up here. Right. So if you don't want us to tell you the truth and ruin your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and everything in between, including what? The Cheez-Its and the Diet Coke. Leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise it will. All right. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed. All right. Now, before we get started, I'm going to pick up where I left off yesterday. I got a lot of content I could do a number to you Trump supporters on, but I'm gonna live up to one of the things that I said because I'm a man of my word. I am hereby requesting the Russian bears to bring themselves forth to the kingdom because. And I hope Vegas girl, I hope you're here because, I consider it a family meeting and I knew it was going to happen. The moment you got in my box and you started trying to do what this is why the Democrats lost and you bashed your fellow Democrats yesterday. I knew eventually I would hear from the Russian bears. So I knew because I've been doing this for years, not just me, but a lot of you. So I knew after the live ended, they would want to, give me some feedback. So I said, all right, their main thing is, Zeus, you won't let us up on your show to debate you. This is their claim to fame. Zeus, you never show any facts. This is what they say. We just want a opportunity to be heard and push back against all the lies you and all those people you have come up. So I said, is that what this is all about? We can nip this in the bud. Where are the Russian bears? Because if they don't come up today, at this point, I don't want to hear it ever again. And do not say you're not in my live, because for some strange reason, the Russian bears seem to know every single thing Big Zeus, well, not just me, but all of you say. And so I said, come to the show tomorrow morning, you and Big Zeus. And, when I started to leave, they do these things. They start, what is your address, Zeus? Come on over here. I don't want to talk to you people. All right. Because unlike some of the other people, I've already figured you out. And not just me, a lot of the other people that have ran across you guys. You never, ever tell the truth. You lie on top of lies on top of lies. All right. So where are the Russian bears? I'm going to give them one last chance. Oh, I don't even see them. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is this. And I'm going to do it because I'm going to add Snuggles in there. Snuggles, he knows better. Snuggles knows better because he knows I've already annihilated him, especially with 22-380 and all the other conspiracies. And guess what, Snuggles? He is still a convicted felon, right? He has 34 felonies. So I gave them an opportunity this morning to reveal themselves to all of us so we can nip this in the bud and they can stop hosting lives with me in the background or you in the background. Because this is what they do. These are some of the most miserable people on TikTok. These are the fake TikTok hosts that I am talking about. They don't know how to get people to come in and be a part of what they're doing because these are some of the sickest people ever. And guess what? And I'll say this. They try to say, well, if anything happens to me, Zeus, it's because of you. No, no, no. If it was up to me, I would tell people to avoid you like the plague. But as you all saw yesterday, there are certain individuals out here. Am I right, Kabira? There are certain individuals out here who are hell-bent on going and hanging out with you, and that's their prerogative. But in the meantime and in between time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give the Russian bears 2 minutes to get on in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and proceed with judgment because, one of the things people have to understand is this. I don't have time to run around and pretend with people like this. All right. This is serious stuff that's going on in our country. They say, well, why the doom and gloom, Zeus? Well, what do you think people in this country should be feeling like when our rights are being stripped of us by this guy behind us? Right. You think it's funny when parents are being separated from their children? You think it's funny with me? You think measles outbreaks are funny? Who thinks measles outbreaks are funny? Right. See, who thinks Harvard losing billions of dollars is funny? Who thinks that's funny? Who thinks this is funny right now? The world. Who thinks what's going on in Ukraine? I watched videos yesterday of what's happening in Ukraine. These women and children and men, they're live every day of their lives in fear. You hear these drones. The dogs are even crying because you never know. And you Trump supporters, after attacking the United States Capitol on January 6th, have the audacity to come up here and try to pretend like you are victims. I won't buy it, and I don't think the rest of you out there will, all right? So W Zeus, and they didn't show up. So the Russian Bears, they didn't show up, which means I don't want to hear it. And I hope Vegas Girl, seriously, I support you, Vegas Girl, honestly, because I don't know what your friends have programmed you to believe. But if you ask anybody here, I'm nice probably to a fault. I support you, and I'm going to continue to encourage you to make way and try a new path. You'll always be able to reach out to me, Vegas Girl. But where I'm at personally, I'm not giving the devil any space over here, but you're more than welcome to go out there and try to make these demons come to the light, but I doubt that they will. So what I'll do is this, in the name of protecting our democracy, I'm going to warm up the lake of fire, ladies and gentlemen. We got to send the Russian Bears. And when I send them to hell, I'm not asking anybody to go out there and do anything to these individuals, because honestly, they've done it to themselves. But what I'm doing on this show, oh yeah, this is mandatory, Mando. This is for the Russian Bears who lied yesterday and said that I won't debate them. I invited you to my show today and you never showed up. So what that means is you lied and you got caught in 4K. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send the Russian Bears where they belong. Straight to hell! And I'll just end it by saying this, and then, you know what, I never want to see the Russian Bears again, and if I do see them, it'll be because I chose to do it, but it won't be because, you know, they're in control. You're not in control. You can barely even get to the kingdom, right? All right, but I'll end it with this, Russian Bears.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
W Zeus. You know, these people, they will be hosting a live shortly after this, because I know them, and they'll probably have screenshots of what I'm saying on their platform. But honestly, I'm at a point now where I go, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody is there to hear it, does it really matter? W Zeus. Now I'm sorry I went off teleprompter, but I had to. Now let's get back to some of the things that are going on in terms of our policy. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to let Lawrence O'Donnell, take care of some business, all right? Because this is very, very important, and then we'll get straight to judgment.
And again, Donald Trump backed down. It should come as no surprise to faithful viewers of this program that the most cowardly president in American history backed down again. The stupidest president in American history backed down again. The only convicted felon to serve as president of the United States
you hear this?
Backed down.
What did he back down
again?
From? What did he back down
The
from?
president who got caught publicly lying over 35,000 times in his first term backed down again.
So
and
easy.
In backing down again, Donald Trump once again became a loser. In this case,
Here it goes.
a loser in a contest that he started, a contest that didn't have to happen were it not for the rank ignorance of Donald Trump.
Thank you.
Donald Trump has already lost his trade war, and he is relentlessly stupid enough to continue to draw lines in the sand of his trade
Get him,
war
Lawrence.
that get blown away
Get him, Lawrence.
by his own foul, intemperate.
Oh my God, Mom. Look how pretty
on,
you
hold on.
are. Okay, so this is my mom.
breath. And in Donald Trump's war against the greatest university in the world, Donald Trump is going to lose. The history of Donald Trump's war against Harvard will not be written during Donald Trump's presidency. And in Harvard's history, Donald Trump's war is a speck. Donald Trump's last year in the presidency will be Harvard's 393rd year.
Wow.
Donald Trump's presidency will be the equivalent of roughly 1% of the years Harvard University has already been with us as America's oldest university, founded in 1636. Long before anyone ever dreamed of a country called the United States of America. Long after Donald Trump is gone, the world-class historians at Harvard University and elsewhere will be defining Donald Trump's presidency as the most corrupt American presidency in history.
How many people out there know Donald Trump? I was going to say how many people out there believe, but no. How many people out there know that Donald Trump is corrupt? How many people out there know that he is corrupt? Because this doesn't take long for me to do. Lawrence, you've totally annihilated him with the truth. It's over, bro. Any Trump supporter, honestly, that gets up here and I ask them this question, I promise you, they will not. It'll be like holding a mirror up to them and saying, "This is your dear leader, a corrupt criminal." And guess what? You're a Christian, yeah. You voted for him. Guess what that means? What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire. To all you Trump supporters, thank you, Lawrence O'Donnell. I'll take over from here. You could go watch the rest of it, but I don't need him to continue it because me and him are already on the same type of time. Any of you Trump supporters out there, and not just Trump supporters, but any Democrat out there, no, whatever you are, you know what you do. I don't like the Democrat Party. I'm not a Democrat, but for some reason I love what Donald Trump is saying. You and the rest of them, do me a huge favor. Go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Dayton.
Listen, I'm going to put it out there. All right, hold on. Let me say it. Hold on.
You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second?
You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second? I'm going to say this, and it'll just be business going forward. If I have any questions about who you're voting for or who you're supporting, in other words, if you get in my box, I'm okay with some, banter about Biden should have dropped out and this and that, because I can do that's. But if we're getting in here and you just directly come after the Democrats, this is why you lost. You ever seen Michael Jordan's Last Dance? You listen, I'm going to take that personal. I am, because no. I won't allow that kind of that's stuff that I hear on the right, but people inside saying it. I gotta ask the question. Wait a second, hold on. You really think there's one singular reason why we lost? Okay, where have you been? Because in the Bible there's the Garden of Eden story, and I thought about it, right? And they say, well, why do you always call people that say that, Zeus, that are real Democrats? Why do you call us MAGA? It's because it's like the story in the Garden of Eden. When Adam took the fruit and he gave it to Eve, or whatever it was Eve, she gave it to Adam, and his eyes were open and they were in the garden, and then God was looking for him, and he says, Adam, Eve, where are you? And, oh, I'm over here hiding. Where are you hiding? Oh, I'm over here. And why are you hiding? Oh, because I realized that I had no clothes on. And you got to understand, wait a second, who told you were naked? And this is how it all went down. So to the Trump supporters, when you say stuff, that's how you look to a lot of us. Wait a second, who told you that, right? And because we know when you start talking like that, where you got it from. And it finally dawned on me, ladies and gentlemen. I woke up this morning, all right, and this was what I saw on Fox News, all right? This is what I saw on Fox News. And I said, oh, okay, I see what's going on, all right? I see what's going on. They say, why can't Democrats just be normal? All right, let's go.
Why can't Democrats just be authentic?
Yeah.
Or another word for authentic, normal.
Oh.
Just be normal. Why can't they? Despite the last 5 months where they've seen what the country wants, why can't Democrats come around?
I mean, you talk about these buzzwords, it's like food insecurity and all these other bizarre words that you have to actually think through in your head. What exactly are they saying? Oh, people are hungry. We could have a food issue.
Okay.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, I mean, Carly, you pointed out they're in these luxury hotel rooms trying to figure out what are the words we should use. Just talk like normal people.
Okay, I'm going to stop them right there. So those are Fox. So I think what's happening is we have some people that are Democrats, but they're getting their news from Fox. And so now you're contaminated, and I'm going to help you out with a little something. When you say, why can't Democrats be normal? I can't help but wonder, what do you mean? Do you want us to go to the Capitol and attack it? Is that what you're asking us to do? Do you want us to be singing Kumbaya with these people who are walking around with those white sheets, those white robes on them? Do you think what do you consider normal out there? Because ladies and gentlemen, when you're down and you're losing the game, that's not a time to be normal. That's actually a time to actually start digging in and playing harder, W. Zeus. So I'm going to say this. Do not ask Big Zeus. I'll be kind. I'll listen to people wherever they're at because I'm a fair person. And I think, having an open mind is the key to learning. So I'll listen to people from all walks of life. But please do not ask Big Zeus to be normal when it comes to MAGA because I can't do it. I refuse to do it. Actually, now that I think about it, why would I be a normal demon and hellbound? That makes absolutely no sense. That's basically setting myself up not for success, but for what? Failure, W. Zeus again. If you find yourself trying to be normal with MAGA, I'm going to be the first one to tell you you're a prime candidate for hell, all right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't believe this, just ask Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk, yesterday, he went on and he said something very important, and it was about the big, beautiful bill. Actually, let me go ahead and play this. Let me go ahead and play what Elon said. This was what he said about Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. Now, keep in mind, without Elon and Starlink, Trump would never have won. You Trump supporters wouldn't be running around here saying anything. You guys would be eating crow. But listen to what Elon said about the big, beautiful bill, and then we'll get straight to judgment.
So, I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly.
Really?
Which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
I actually thought that when this big, beautiful bill came along, I mean, everything he's done on Doge gets wiped out in the first year.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it could be both. My personal opinion.
So he says he thinks that a bill could be big or beautiful, but it can't be both. And I know there's a MAGA demon out here. Her name is Mother of Nastiness. Please go look up the word or, all right? Because you know what you like to do. You don't like to actually connect dots. You like to just spend time looking up words in the dictionary, all right? So the fact that Elon, ladies and gentlemen, is at a point as well where he knows that the big, beautiful bill is bad for him. You Trump supporters, you're stuck now. You're totally stuck because now you have to agree with Elon, even though you disagree with the Democrats who have been telling you it's bad news for you. It's going to take you off of Social Security. It's going to cut your Medicaid, your Medicare, and it's going to include a lot of other sneaky provisions that allow Donald Trump to be an authoritarian leader, so to speak, right? So, MAGA, how does it feel now to know that even Elon knows that the big, beautiful bill that you all, no tax on Tim Zeus, no tax on overtime, you know what I'm talking about, right? How does it feel to now understand that even Elon knows the big, beautiful bill is nothing but trash? Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and warm up the lake of fire one last time. And this is for every single Trump supporter out there that still supports Donald Trump and all of his corruption, right? Knowing he's taking a $400 million jet from a corrupt government that we all know is a designated T group. You sat there and said that's acceptable. He's pardoning people who've committed fraud. So I think it's okay to commit fraud in America now. Is that where we're at in this country? Fraud is now an acceptable way of business in the country. Okay, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send these people, these degenerates, these knuckle draggers where they belong. One last time, let's go ahead and send them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W. Zeus. So listen up. Let's open the boxes up and talk to the people in the chat. And I'm going to warn you, it doesn't matter what political affiliation you're in. If I sense that the MAGA demon is in you, it's not going to be a friendly show because I can't take it anymore, to be honest with you. I've endured long enough. All right. You get up here? Hey, no. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'll bring up my good friend, brother Attacking. Hi, Attacking. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you bright and early.
Yeah, I've been up since 4 o'clock.
Okay, fair enough. What do you got for us, my good friend? Because, I've covered a lot of things this morning, and I'm not going to let you all keep me up here for 3 hours today like you did yesterday.
It wasn't my fault.
True.
The thing is this. The Democrats don't need a carnival barker. See, we're at a normal pace. We have normal people running for office.
Yeah.
We don't have a carnival barker.
No.
That's what is overshadowing the Democratic Party. A carnival barker, a liar, a guy who lies about everything and they follow it. It's kind of like this post right here.
Yeah.
A Trump supporter on this app saying that man should be held guilty for unaliving Ashley Babbitt. Knowing the fact that if Donald Trump didn't lie about the 2020 election, she would still be alive. So would the other people who lost their lives in conjunction with January 6th. See, they want to lie about this stuff. They say you lie, I lie, everybody else lies. While they're the ones lying about this, lying that Donald Trump didn't cause it, lying that the Capitol attack was done by the Democrats, Antifa, Black Lives Matter. Donald Trump has pardoned all 1,600 people, even though they assaulted cops.
Yeah.
Eyes gouged out, lost fingers, and people have lost their lives.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi gives $5 million to Ashley Babbitt's mother in a payoff. And they did that due to the fact that if they would have went to court, they would have lost. Because the proof and information, the documents, the video shows that she's the one who did the attacking of the Capitol building, and she tried to crawl through a window. She would have lost the family would have lost the lawsuit.
Right.
They didn't allow it to go through. They paid it off.
Wow.
Donald Trump has committed crimes left, right, and center. We no longer have a legal system. We have Trump's system. Trump is the one who says what is right, what is wrong, what is left, what is right, what is legal, what is not legal.
Preach it.
He just pardoned the cop for bribery, who was sentenced to 10 years, the family committing fraud for $30 million.
Yeah, so fraud's okay in this country. If you know Trump, fraud's okay.
The family went to the special dinner the other day for Trump's coin, donated $1 million. Now, mom and dad are being bailed out.
Well, is it that, why can't you just be normal attacking? Why can't you just be normal like them?
Well, the thing is, we are normal. They're the ones who aren't normal. They're the ones who are under the umbrella of a clown. They're the ones that knowingly lie for the clown. Lie every day for the clown.
Well,
we don't have to lie to promote anybody. They do.
Yeah, and they don't like it when you call them a clown. But you know what? Let me go ahead and explain to MAGA why the word clown is actually quite fitting. All right, let me see if I got it. All right, how many of you all think this is a clown right there? And some people, believe it or not, some of you voted for this person.
Yeah.
You've actually you went to the booth and said, this is the person that I think should be the president. So I don't feel any kind of remorse, honestly.
The thing is, Biden's supporters, Obama supporters, Hillary supporters, Harris supporters, did we ever attack a judge and their family because they had a court case sitting in front of them with their name?
I'm sorry. Cancel that. I thought I sent somebody an invite on accident. But no, please continue.
Did we ever attack judges and their families?
No.
Did the Trump supporters do that?
Yes.
Did the Trump supporters of the Democratic Party attack DAs?
Democrats, no. Trump supporters, yes.
Right. Or the jury?
No.
Everything with Trump is false, it's legal, it's illegal, and it's just a political witch hunt. But everything else on the left-hand side is true and accurate, even without any proof or documentation.
Yeah.
So it's not the fact that we, the Democrats, need to find this superhero to run for the presidency. Okay?
Yeah.
We have people who could win the presidency. They have to get out from underneath this clown cloud, because Donald Trump is being boisterous and out there with the most ridiculous comments, attacking Harvard, boats and batteries and sharks, and trophy wives and yachts at a commencement speech for West Point cadets, and then going to Arlington and making it about him and not the fallen soldiers.
Yeah, I saw him do that recently.
Which they find acceptable to them because they love Donald Trump so much. It doesn't matter what he says or what he does. They will bend over backwards to protect him. Whether it be from assaulting women and children, to lying to the court documents, to lying to in regards to his business frauds with the Trump University, where Alan Weisselberg went to prison with Rikers Island twice for lying about their issue, to the 34 felony counts, to the E. Jean Carroll. All these things are now no big deal because it's Trump. See, if Donald Trump didn't make the phone call to Georgia, there wouldn't have been a case. If Donald Trump didn't attack the Capitol building, there wouldn't have been a case. If Donald Trump would have turned over the documents when asked, there wouldn't have been a Mar-a-Lago and the classified document case.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be these cases if Donald Trump would have been a normal human being, a professional, and not a power-hungry bully trying to push the limits. And he only was able to push the limits because you have people who are willing to help him push the limits because they support him and they don't care what he does.
Bingo.
Again, a perfect example is right here.
Tell him.
This is a perfect example. A known Christian on this app posts this knowing that it's a lie. And because they like Donald Trump so much, they're willing to push this lie, wanting this black man put in jail for unaliving this white woman who tried to cause harm to the politicians. And then they say, well, she didn't have a weapon. Well, let me see. Did that police officer, that security guard, know that she didn't have a weapon?
Tell him, Kabir.
She could have had an explosive in her backpack. She could have had firearms in her jackets. Do we know that she didn't have anything? No. Not until after she was unalive and taken and then searched.
Yeah.
So when you say that you've worked in the police arena, the legal arena, then you should know these things.
Thank you.
But you don't want to apply your thought process to, we don't know what she had on her at the time.
Yeah. That's what they say whenever a person of color is unalive. That's the language that they use, and it's justified. And so, again, it's demonic what they're suggesting. But this, to me, is nothing more than another attempt to have what they call a modern day, L word. But we're not going to let it happen, right?
And me and Zeus, and other broadcasters that are telling the truth, we tell you people to come up and show us how we were misleading, show us the documents in regards to our statement, to show that Zeus, you lied, attacking you lied.
Yeah.
The thing is this, the people on the right-hand side that we're having this dispute against, you people won't come up into our broadcast, my broadcast, one-on-one, Zeus's broadcast.
I said they could come up here, and they didn't show
they
up.
Won't, but they won't.
But they cried yesterday attacking you and I. They said, we never let them up on the show. And they cried yesterday right after we had the family meeting. So I had to prove the point and show up. And now I say, come up here, Russian bears.
Right.
And they won't do it. So I don't want to hear it because we've all seen it, that they won't show up and try to defend themselves.
They want you to go up there because they can talk over you and turn your mic off. When they're saying, no, we won't do that. But they do as soon as you get up there. They won't let me up there. And I'm not going to go to them. See, I'm not a puppet. I'm not a pawn.
Fair enough.
They're gonna come to me. You want to talk to me about things?
Yeah.
You come to my broadcast one-on-one. I got rid of my mods.
Okay, good. So I want to see the greatness in terms of their debate skills. These people, their claim is we're not telling the truth. So yeah, I mean, and I normally hate to pivot like this on a broadcast like this, but we're at a point now where you either got to put up or shut up, right? W, Zeus W attacking. Wow. Put up or shut up.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Everybody be safe.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, this is amazing! What an incredible show. See, this is why this is why it's important to have shows like this, ladies and gentlemen, because what we're doing is we're telling the truth and shaming the devil. All right, do we have any? That was somebody who's of the truth. Do we have any people out there that still support Donald Trump after hearing all of this truth? Anyone out there that supports Donald Trump, please identify yourselves in the chat so I can bring you right on up here, because I don't want to leave any stone unturned. All right, I don't. And this is your one chance to actually get to have a conversation with me without all of the rigmarole, right? And like Attacking said, when I go over there and I try to talk to you, I know I'll never ever, really talk to you, but I'm trying to show the people sometimes that, listen, if you really think it's easy to talk to these folks, just look at how they treat you when you go over there. They don't want to hear from you. They just want to use you and abuse you. But guess what? Even when they try to do that, they end up losing because the truth isn't in them. W. Zeus. Come on up here. Hey, Connie. How are you, Connie? Would you mind coming up here, Connie, and showing the world that it's possible to talk to each other, Democrats and those with the MAGA demon, Connie, if you don't mind, because I want to show people it is possible. All right, Connie, I sent you an invite. Could you send Big Zeus a guest request, Connie? And this won't take long, Connie. All I need is about three minutes. All right, Connie. I don't see you in the guest request. All right, but please. Don't waste people's time, Connie. It's bright and early on a Wednesday morning. And what we'll do is, I want to see if we can actually have respectful dialogue with Trump supporters, all right, that doesn't turn into what we all know they love to be in, which is, in the mud with the pigs, right? And I don't like to do that. So, Connie, you don't want to come up here. All right, I'll move on. Connie is typing. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, because yes. Let's see. Who do we have next? Woo. Let's see. Who is next? Who do we have? Who is this? Denise. Good morning, Denise. How are you? Hi, Denise. How are you? Denise, did you accidentally send a guest request? Going once? Going twice? That was, okay, I think Denise accidentally sent the guest request. Who else? Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. All right, I'll bring you right on up here. It doesn't take all morning to do this same song and dance. You said Kimmy is in here. I don't think Kimmy is in here, but if they are in here, they got to be in here under their backup account. And don't worry, yeah, I'll address you too. All right, because one of the things that I don't do is I don't like to play around with people. All right, if you got issues, you got issues. All right, and don't try to pretend like you don't. And they know what I mean. W. Zeus. So as you all can see, they don't want to come up here and they do not want to be identified until the end of the show. And then at the end of the show, when I'm doing my song and dance, they'll start saying all that Trump stuff. But I don't know why that is, but we'll move it along. Who do we got right now, ladies and gentlemen? Keith. Good morning, Keith.
Governor Rod Blagojevich and
Keith.
a former sheriff who took thousands in
That's a lot of noise, Keith. I can't do it. We'll move on to the next panelist, ladies and gentlemen. What we're looking for are Trump supporters, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this is about. Who do we got right here? Good morning. Who is this? G-Man the Wiz. How are you doing?
Sorry, I'm not a Trump supporter.
Oh, okay. You accidentally sent the request. No problem. W in the chat for G-Man the Wiz. I'm just going through the list. All right, Angel Rose. Good morning, Angel Rose. Who do we got here, ladies and gentlemen? Angel Rose, how are you? Angel Rose, are you there? Angel Rose, are you there? Good.
I am, but it was an accident. I apologize.
All righty then, no problem. W Angel Rose, that's not too difficult. I guess if you tap the screen, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here. We don't got all morning to do this show, all right? We're not going to do 3 hours like you all had me doing yesterday because that was a long time. Who do we have this morning? Who do we have this morning? Yeah, you see this, ladies and gentlemen? MAGA, it is crickets right now because I've already annihilated them. I actually requested, especially the Russian bears who are hell bent, and these people are obsessed with me. I said, all right, fine, let's go ahead and end this right now. I will concede if you got any facts to support whatever you're saying. I'll concede and we'll move on. But you give them that kind of opportunity and they still will say absolutely not. I'll take my chances in hell, which is bizarre if you ask me. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what we got going on. The Greek realm. Let's see. Thank you, Kazoo. Good morning. The Greek realm. Good morning. How are you? Are you there? I guess, ladies and gentlemen, you got to check and ask see if you're in the guest request. If you're in the guest request and you don't want to be here, you might want to drop out. All right. Yeah, they do have a lot to say in the comment section. They do. Good morning, Tony. How are you? Tony, are you there? I guess Tony accidentally sent the guest request. You know what I'll do? I'll bring up Takesha. Yeah, you did. Okay, no problem. Hi, Takesha. How are you? Did you mean to send the guest request?
I did. Zeus, how are you this morning?
I'm all right. And you?
I'm good. Zeus, answer me a question. How does one boycott a school they don't go to?
You can't.
Okay, so why is MAGA talking about they go boycott Harvard when they can't even get in the front door if they were even applied to be a janitor? This makes absolutely no sense to me, Zeus. Everybody that Trump think is wrong, they want to boycott against the. What is wrong with these grown people being so obsessed and dedicated and loyal to this one man?
What do you think it is, Takesha? Because we keep seeing them bend over backwards. You call them bend over Bobby or something like that?
Bend over Bobby.
W, Takesha.
That's what it is, Zeus. They love to be bent over with extra KY jelly and Vaseline on the side. It doesn't matter what this man does, what this man says. They are down with it, just like he's giving out these pardons. You know, they said they wanted a president who couldn't be bought.
Yeah.
Well, Zeus?
Yes?
Is he being bought?
My personal opinion is absolutely. Do we all in the chat believe Trump has been bought? And someone's paying for him who, let's look at the chat. Yes, he is. Look at all these people. They're saying yes. So
my thing is they evidently didn't want him. They said they didn't want one that could be bought. He's for sale.
Yeah.
To the highest bidder.
Don't that make him like a trick?
Now, they had a problem with Biden giving pardons to his family to keep them safe from the corruption, but they don't have a problem with him pardoning people that are really guilty.
Wow.
I guess if you do it for the right reason, it's wrong. But if you do it for the wrong reason, it's right.
Wow.
The Bible spoke about that.
Go ahead.
In the last days, people are going to be calling right wrong and wrong right. Now, let's talk about Mike Johnson. Who looked like the little boy off It's a Wonderful Life. Got up behind that podium and said, I guess this was the work of God. Because when this bill was being voted on, I went to the chapel across the street and I prayed. You mean to tell me you went and prayed to God Almighty for you to be able to take away from people after the Bible says to feed the poor, house the homeless, look after the widow, welcome the immigrant. You went and prayed and asked God to do the opposite of what he told us to do, and God answered your prayer. Mike Johnson, stop.
Thank you, W. Because what he's suggesting, Takesha, is that he has a direct link to God. The one you and I, and others
and
probably.
That God changed his mind for little old Mike. He changed his word for little old Mike. Whatever he told us to do, he told us to do the opposite because of little old Mike. What that was, little old Mike, was your free will. to mistreat people and go against the word of God. I'm so sick of them
Get 'em.
putting God into their destruction
Mm.
and their hate
Amen.
for other people.
Amen.
It's getting ridiculous.
Tell them.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Just leave the Lord out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because God is not an author of confusion, right?
He's not the author of confusion.
There you.
And Zeus.
Yes. Preach
Guess
it.
what else?
What else? What else
He
you got
has
for him?
no respect of person. That means that he don't think highly of no one than the next person. Mike Johnson, go sit down.
Woo! W to Keisha. This is what we're talking about. And you know, isn't it incredible that these folks claim that they go to church on Wednesday, probably Friday, and even on Sunday, and they get on this app and do the work of the devil, and then they still believe that they're heading towards those pearly gates.
They going to church, Zeus, but that wax build up in their ear.
Oh.
And that little part of the scripture they pastor read them that really don't give you the whole understanding of the whole chapter. That's what they listening to, Zeus. These people think they in the right, Zeus. But baby, when it's time to be judged.
Uh-oh.
And he said, woe unto you.
Oh.
You can get out my face because I never knew you.
Ooh.
They gonna be looking confused, Zeus.
But didn't I cast out devils and do miracles in your name?
I never knew you.
Ooh, W to Keisha. I remember
because
that.
Zeus, what he gonna do is this what he gonna ask you on Judgment Day. What was the motive?
Oh.
For what you did,
Well,
See, I know. Look, I know your heart.
Oh.
And I know it's wicked and it's deceitful. I know your heart. Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
I went to the Capitol because I was led by the anointed man you sent me, God. I was led there by.
Now you take that little suitcase with your millions in it, and you burn with it. You finna go to hell.
W to Keisha. And we're saying it in a funny and entertaining way, but it's not going to be funny like that when it happens.
It's the truth, Zeus.
It ain't going.
It is the app. These people think that they are aligned with God because they have made God what they want God to be. They're not reading the words, Zeus. They don't even understand the words, Zeus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I saw this preacher preaching on how blacks and whites don't supposed to mix.
Yeah.
And he used that scripture that said, do not mix with, the scripture they always try to use.
Yeah.
But God was talking about different tribes mixing.
Yeah.
Because you're not serving the same God.
There you go.
You will be persuaded to serve their God.
Right.
But they used it for hate. To say that black and white should not marry.
Oh.
You have to be careful who giving you the word.
Amen.
That's why it's a study to show yourself approved.
She's not lying. She's telling you all the God honest truth. All right. Quit being led astray by these false teachers. All right, because they out here.
Quit being led astray.
Yeah. Thank you. Right.
But that's what I want to do. I'm just sick of people throwing God's name in their junk.
Yeah.
I'm sick of them spreading hate.
Keep it clean.
And trying to top it off with God.
Thank you.
It's getting. I guess God wanted me to run a second. Trump, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He don't even know you. He said until you get right with your brother, I don't even hear your prayer.
Amen. Demonic prayers.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. So I have to give it to you. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you having time this morning to come up here and deliver
I just had to come on in with the word because I'm sick of it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. W to Keisha in the chat. No lies detected. You see, we spread love on this show, ladies and gentlemen. We don't spread hate. We spread nothing but love. Again, W to Keisha. And so, and I do it, and I see it. I see these people out here, this Trump supporters, but they will never get in the box, and they're out in the comment section crying, and they're mad at the way that I'm running my show. You know, I had someone tell me, Zeus, I used to come to your show back when you used to be the love guru. I still am the love guru to a certain degree. I'll help people who are trying to find, a healthy relationship. I have no problem, taking time to help you figure out what you're doing and help you clean up what you're doing so you can be a better partner. But I also am probably one of the worst people you'll ever run into when it comes to these things that are going on in the country as well. You can be more than one thing, right, ladies and gentlemen? And so to the people who are getting triggered by the way that I'm running my broadcast, PSA announcement.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
W. Zeus, I take no responsibility for whoever is being, your feelings get hurt inside of the Thunderdome. I'm in the Thunderdome with you, all right? We all are going to probably have our feelings hurt at a certain point. But you know what? When they hurt your feelings because they are telling you some real honest feedback about what you need to do to step your game up, that's not an opportunity for you to start to cry. That's actually an opportunity for you to get your stuff together, W. Zeus. Jeff, come on up here, Jeff. You're asking Big Zeus a question. Why can't black and white mix? I never said that. Black and white and any other color can mix. That's part of what happens when you mix colors. Colors, that's what colors are. Colors are a mix of other colors, all right? So, Jeff, I don't know where you got that live from, but I invited you up here. Send me a guest request and we can unpack it. But if you're talking about DEI-related topics, Jeff, well, then that's a question you'll have to ask. I'm assuming you're a Trump supporter. You'll have to ask your dear leader. Ask Donald Trump, why can't black and whites mix? All right, and go in there and talk, and start with Pete Keg's breath. Go ask Pete Keg's breath. All right, I sent you an invite. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you right on up here. Seriously, and we don't have all morning to do this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why, but they just get in here and they go, "Oh, I got so much to say when I'm in the comments, but I dare not get in the kingdom and kneel before Big Zeus." Good morning, Nutty. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I invited your stalkers, the Russian bears, to the show. Are you okay with that? Because they were saying, Nutty, that we don't ever give them an opportunity to be heard, and we don't bring facts. They want to bring all of these facts to you and I and totally debunk us. Are you okay with that, Nutty?
Not only am I okay with that,
yeah,
I'm salivating at the moment. But before I get into that, Zeus.
Yes.
Before I get into that, can I do a little housekeeping?
Sure.
Like I told y'all yesterday, I said today's goal from the time Zeus signed on to the time he signed off, we need to get to 500,000 likes. Now, yesterday was a unique day. We got to 700,000 likes yesterday, but he was on 1 hour and 10 minutes longer than his scheduled time. So that doesn't count, y'all. That doesn't count. So please, I need the help from every mod that you have in this room. Every mod that you have in this room, I need y'all to keep pushing that. We're only at 224,000 with 1.9.
That's a lot to be. That's a lot in my opinion. Though,
yeah, that's not. The devil is a lie. That's not. So we should be well on our way.
Marissa.
We should be over 350,000 right now. So please and thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, back to the regular.
Thank you, Nutty. W Nutty. I mean, because I honestly don't know what the liking and the tapping does, but
it gets you out there. I mean, granted, you've done a great job creating this platform where it gets out on its own on the FYP, but it just gives it more visibility.
It gives it more girth, so to speak.
Yes, exactly.
Keep it clean, ladies. Keep it clean. I know what your minds did.
Well, Zeus. You know, Zeus.
I was talking about my hammer. Sorry.
You know the saying, once you go black. That's it. That's
little hawk piped up when you said that.
We'll just. That's why the Russian Bears. That's why the Russian Bears are so obsessed.
Keep it clean.
That's why the Russian
Wait
Bears
a second.
are so obsessed.
You trying to say that this is their little love language? They in love with us, Nutty? Is that what you're suggesting? Because I'll share it. This is the one time I'll share. All right, you can, and actually I'll give you 100% of it if you want it. All right, I don't want nothing to do with it, but if that's what they want, I'm gonna have to say it. You can look, but you bet not touch, and you're gonna have to lay there and burn. They're gonna have to lay there and burn.
I don't want any part of them. I will share them. I will be. See, if you don't want them and I don't want them, I will be happily willing to share them with Lil Hawk I'll be happily. You know what, Zeus? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna share them with Q. We're gonna share them with Q, dog. I had to. So Q.
Hey.
Q.
Wow, that's crazy. No,
you asked me to put you in. I'm putting you in. I'm the coach. You batter up. Take it for the team, brother. Take it for the team.
Wow.
Hey, see, stop. See, I need to get back to my. So to this orange Mussolini that you have.
Lord have mercy.
I'm angered by the pardon. I'm angered by the pardon that he did to the Chrisleys.
Yeah.
Their TV personality, but they defrauded. Yeah. They defrauded banks. It's funny whenever we talk about Donald Trump and his 34 felony convictions. What do the right always say? Well, didn't the banks testify that they were not the victims? Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Yeah. Didn't the banks testify that they weren't the victims? So you have a victimless crime. So why is it that he's a felon? So here we have the Chrisleys, Todd and Julie Chrisley.
Yeah.
They defrauded an Atlanta banks out of $30 million.
You got to be kidding me.
And just because the banks in the Donald Trump case said that they got their money, doesn't mean he didn't break the law.
Correct.
And you don't need a bank to press charges in order for charges to be brought. I need y'all to know how the legal system works.
He's right.
The law is the law. Even if a victim says, I do not want to press charges, the prosecutor has the ultimate say whether or not a charge is going to be given on a suspected crime.
True, W Nutty. And this is true because if you think about it, you see who's getting locked up out here, all right? And you have to say to yourself, how are they locking these people up and the victims aren't even testifying?
So I want to move on from that.
Thank you, Nutty.
The House GOP Oversight Committee, they approved House Resolution 884. So the important thing that I want everyone to know about House Resolution 884, they are literally trying to take over our nation's capital. The Republican Party wants the nation capital to be under the control of the federal government. Why is this, you ask, Nutty? They want the nation's capital to be under federal control because the nation's capital has a high percentage of people of color, and the nation's capital typically leans blue. Washington, D.C. votes blue. The people there are Democrats. They want to take over the nation's capital. So what House Resolution 884 is, it makes it illegal for a non-citizen, I want y'all to hear me carefully, for a non-citizen to vote in certain local elections. Not federal. Not federal.
Yes.
Because you remember what y'all said. Y'all wanted states' rights, remember?
They did.
So
begged.
With Washington, D.C. being a district, it is like they are their own state. That's why the mayor is tantamount to being a governor for Washington, D.C. So if the legislature, the city council members of Washington, D.C. votes to allow certain people to vote in certain local elections despite citizenship, guess what?
What's that?
Guess what? That's their right.
Yeah.
That is their right.
Thank you, W Nutty. And you're telling the Trump supporters to back off?
I'm telling the Trump supporters to get the F off.
Yeah.
Because it's not even every election that someone that's not a citizen can vote. It's certain elections. So the Republicans have picked this up and they're feeding it to their rabid supporters.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, MAGA, they have rabies. Because they latch on to things and they run with it and say, see, illegals are voting. Illegals are voting.
It's just pathetic when you hear people, adults, speaking that kind of language. You just have to say, like, haven't you evolved as a person? And I wanted to ask you, Nutty, one thing, because I played a clip earlier. Why can't the Democrats be more normal? This is what I heard on Fox News, and this is, to me, part of the reason we're having some family matters going on within the party. Why can't we just be normal, like Trump supporters?
I would love to answer that. I would love to answer that question, but let me say this on the illegalities of voting. Can we not allow them to take over Washington, D.C., please and thank you? Because if you take over Washington, D.C., then I think every Democrat that is in our federal government should rally to take over every single red state with the federal government. Forget about states' rights. Just freaking change the Constitution and say, we're going to have one law for every state in this union. We're going to get rid of governors. The president is the president of every state.
Wow.
Because that's exactly what you're doing to Washington, D.C. if you are taking over Washington, D.C.
That's basically exactly what he's trying to do. Yeah.
That is exactly what you're doing.
Wow.
So the reason why Democrats can't be normal in their eyes is because they don't know what normalcy is. Because normalcy is letting people live their life. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. But if it's not affecting you, then what do you have?
Why are you crying? Right?
I'm trying to find other words because I don't need a call from your mama telling me I didn't keep it clean.
There you go, because she'll do that in a heartbeat, and then you'll have two problems instead of just one.
Yeah. So, but why are you itching and complaining? Why? Because this is why I got so upset yesterday.
Yeah.
It's because we hear the talking points. We keep saying, oh, the Democrats have to put forth better candidates. We cannot put forth better candidates. We had an amazing candidate last year.
Thank you. Say it again.
Seriously, what else do you want Democrats to do? This woman who worked her entire derriere off to rise to the level of the vice presidency of the United States of America. And guess what, MAGA? She wasn't a criminal. She wasn't a criminal.
Thank you.
She had the background. She had the experience. She had the know-how. She had the empathy. Not just for Democrats, but for the people of the United States of America, including you, MAGA. She had the empathy. She wanted to put forth legislation that was still going to help you, MAGA, while simultaneously telling the rich, F off. We're going to make you pay your fair share so the average American person can live, can sustain, that can buy groceries. Because, egg prices cost $22 an egg. She wanted to bring the prices of eggs down to maybe $1 an egg instead of $22 an egg. She wanted to give first-time home buyers a credit so they can afford that American dream of not renting and making somebody else rich. Part of the American dream is owning your own home.
Yep.
Like, what more can we ask for, Zeus?
Any Trump supporters want to get up here?
Ask for? Then when we tell them that she was qualified, that she was an amazing candidate, because you even brought it up yesterday. Yeah. That was the most, Val said this. That was the most joyous campaign in my lifetime. I'm 51
Val said
years
that.
old.
Yeah.
That was the most joyous campaign of bringing people together, not just Democrats, but people. What more do you want? You cannot talk about positivity and look at what we just got with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Every single campaign rally.
Yeah.
Every single one. He's telling them to beat the hell out of people. He's telling them, get out of here. I'll pay your bail, whatever. And knowing that he's a liar.
Yeah.
Getting your people caught up in the judicial system just so you can try to pardon them.
Get them.
You're pardoning criminals over there that committed the same crimes you committed. So MAGA, I ask you, since Donald Trump Trump, whatever his name is.
Dump.
Since he didn't commit any crimes, why did he pardon the Chrisleys?
Thank you.
They were found guilty by a court of law, by a jury of their peers.
It's like he's flooding the country with criminals, domestic, homegrown ones.
But yet you want to call yourself the party of law and order. The devil is a lie.
W, Nutty. All right, brother. We're going to have to move it on, Nutty. But as always, I appreciate everything you do. All right, seriously.
Please and thank you. Let's get those likes up. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Not going to be on an hour and 10 minutes like he was yesterday.
Absolutely not. So, we got about 10 minutes, really, to be honest with you.
We got to get our fingers to tapping. Thank you, Zeus.
All right, W, Nutty. We got about 10 minutes because Big Zeus doesn't. We can't do that. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. All right, and we'll try to get one more rich discussion in this live before I, have to honestly take care of other very important things. All right, put a 1 in the chat. Are you a Trump supporter? I'll bring you right on up here, and we'll address the demon. Asler, I've already dealt with you. All right, Asler, and you don't have anything of substance, honestly, Asler, to offer other than just constant worshiping of Donald J. Trump. And actually, bro, it's getting really disturbing, and at this point, I want to talk to the man of the house, Asler, and it's not you, all right? W Zeus, I want to talk to the man of the house, and it's not you, all right? Because what you're doing, if I seen my partner running around there and acting that way, those of you who are in relationships, you know what I mean. I'd be going, or even if you were my parent, what are you doing? Repeating and worshiping this man at that level, like something is wrong. And guess what I would do? I would stage an intervention. W Zeus Asler, look up the word intervention. You'll know what I'm talking about. You be filing for a divorce, PA? These people don't know anything. Oh my goodness. Good morning. Who do we have here? The beautiful Jess. How are you doing, Jess?
Good morning. I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Better now that I'm seeing you. I mean, it's an honor to have you this morning. Seriously.
It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up something. MAGA claims to be pro-life, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they're only pro-life apparently when it comes to white babies.
Oh, let me see what this is.
ICE arrests a pregnant woman in Tennessee and while in detention in Louisiana had a stillbirth. She was begging for days to get help.
Wow.
She knew something was wrong and she wanted help.
Wow.
You guys denied her health care. She could have had a healthy baby. She could have had a baby that survived.
Wow.
And mind you, she wasn't here illegally either. She has been away from Guatemala for over a decade.
Wow.
Married, working. So with all of this being said, I need all of people on the left, anyone that cares about human rights at all, in response to Donald Trump's war with Harvard. Harvard is now offering free courses for constitutional foundations. They are also doing it for public leadership. That one you do have to pay for. But constitutional foundations, public policy and foreign policy. You got citizen politics. Oh, thank you. Politics for elections, interest groups, and media. There's all different kinds of courses, and all of these are free on the Harvard website. And they are self-paced. It's not like you got to rush to do anything. You can do it at your own pace. Ask me if I'm signing up.
Are you signing up? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
W,
yes,
Jess.
And I
I'm
think
sorry.
everybody should. Knowledge is power, and especially with this administration, we need it.
Wow.
Everyone get on it.
Wow.
Resources are free. They actually have other ones as well, and I think Harvard didn't talk about that a lot. So go look up Harvard free courses. Y'all, it's very important, and I might do a little series on this and just fill feel my following.
Well,
in.
I think that's an awesome plug for what Harvard and how people can continue to better themselves and inform themselves. But I'll be honest with you, Jed. That's a very sad story that you just showed us all this morning. But thank you for doing that, because it really drives home the point. Yesterday, who this person was. They say, why is it all doom and gloom? There's nothing funny about stuff like that happening. In all seriousness, there's nothing funny about that.
And you want to know something, Zeus?
What's that?
In Trump's last administration, and then I gotta run.
Okay.
In Trump's last administration, there was a child in, I believe, 2018 that passed away in an ICE detention facility because of accusations of rape. And KJ saying, I only want free stuff. Knowledge is power, and education should be free. And with that, I'm going to shut up. I love you guys.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Love you too. W. Jess, ladies and gentlemen. And KJ, you were picking on my sister like that while she was up here sharing with us a very heartfelt and serious story that talks about women in this country suffering. So I'm going to do this with great pleasure. I don't know who KJ is, but KJ, you know what? I'm going to just say it, and there's really no explanation needed. Do me a huge favor and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
Gotta throw some thunder on your behind too. What a sick and twisted person you are. All right. See, this is why, things like that, you catch you off guard and you're going, what? And y'all get out here and have the audacity to try to act like you're victims? No, those children, the ones you're supposed to be protecting, those are the victims, those mothers, those are the victims, not you. You aren't anything. Honestly, MAGA, you're nothing but a vassal of transgression. It's the sickest thing I've ever seen. All right, W. Zeus. I gotta bring up my sister. She always, you never know. Hi, Kabira. How are you? Good morning, Kabira. Good morning, Kabira. How are you? Kabira, are you there? Uh-oh. Are you there, Kabira? Uh-oh. I think you got something going on there. Z-Pop, good morning. How are you? Very unusual that you're here, but you know what? We're going to talk to you. Z-Pop, how are you doing, bro?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. I wanted to remind everyone, TDS has become a real thing for a lot of people. And it seems to be that the people that,
Kabira.
accuse people of TDS look like this. So what is this? What the hell is this?
This is, to me, when I talk to MAGA and they send me guest requests and they come up here to defend their dear leader, this is exactly what I imagine the person I'm looking like. This is Asler. This is Asler, ladies and gentlemen. Right?
Yeah. I mean, this is scary because, I don't know what this is.
Asler, can you come up here and repeat? Asler, if you don't mind, Asler, could you come up here and just read all these things that's in the picture? No, Asler thinks he's black. Asler. Stop it, Asler. Stop it. You ain't black. You didn't vote for Joe Biden. What was that?
I'm just imagining someone, that is essentially yelling at people and screaming at them for, having all this stuff, but they look like they're wearing a superhero cape. They've got paraphernalia all over the wall. What the hell is this? What are you? What is your personality? Do you are you a different person than this, or what?
Asler, could you read what those
Hey,
signs?
morning, man.
Yeah, could you read those words on the picture for us? I just need to get this. What does it say?
Haha, you hate Trump. Derangement syndrome.
And what does the flag say?
Trump, that's our president, man. 77 million votes for the bet. You know
Yeah.
that already.
See, and don't you notice that those are the words you always say?
What are we saying?
You say those
Trump,
exact words.
I never call nobody derangement syndrome. You know, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about policies about my president. By the way, he's like 126 days doing the best thing for us, man. You know that, right?
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. You see that, Z-Pod?
Trying to figure it out. Like, are you a superhero?
I
Is it
tried to tell you
Halloween?
we good. Gas is good in
Is
Texas.
it Halloween?
Inter is going.
Let me ask you something.
Going
Is it
great.
Halloween every
So
day?
I don't know what you're talking
Excuse
about
me,
right
sir.
now.
Excuse me. Is it Halloween every day, or is it are you cosplaying? What is this?
Man, I know you try to make joke about my president, but if you turn it off your TV right now, it's on live because we don't have a dead president like you used to have 4 years ago. Our president is alive. You can go ahead right now, turn on your TV, and you can see it on your TV. It's not like for the last year we don't even have a president. Autopay. You know what that mean, right? Autopay.
Gas is the same price.
That's
man.
what we used to
I don't know
have
what
4
you're
years
talking
ago.
about.
So it's already. I
Did
know
the-
you know what I'm
did
talking
the-
about. It's just you don't
did the
want to
gas
recognize.
prices go down,
We
sir?
don't have no president for 4 years, sir. That's what we had the last
So
4
he
years.
doesn't. He's literally fell right into my trap. Asler,
Yeah,
I gotta move it on, bro.
I'm just wondering.
Go ahead, man.
Like, are the gas prices lower?
Yes, sir.
Did we?
240 average.
Oh,
in
they
Houston,
are?
Texas. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Houston,
no,
Texas,
they're not.
240
They're
average
the
right
same
now,
here.
and it's
They're the
coming
same
lower
here,
and
so-
lower and lower.
They're the same
That's
here.
that's the range man.
Are
we
the
got right
eggs
now.
cheaper? Are the eggs
Yes, sir.
cheaper?
You got
Yes, sir.
proof.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Asler, if you can show us the receipt for the last batch of eggs you bought, and we'll get straight
Is
to
the
judgment.
war over?
I'll give
Is the
A-
war in Ukraine over?
Let's give Asler, please show us some proof that Donald Trump has done something for you. All right, because I got to get to judgment. It does just take 5 seconds. What's the latest thing he's done for you?
I told you the gas price
Okay,
is lower.
you have a
I'm
picture?
paying-
You have
I
a
used to
picture?
pay- Man, you want me to go to the gas station
No,
right now?
Just show me a picture of whatever.
Give me 5 minutes. I go to my closest gas station and
Okay.
I'll show you the price. That's gonna
Okay,
be my proof.
okay.
You wanna
Well
do
then,
that?
so you have none on you, huh?
I don't, man. I have everything on my cell phone. I pay Apple Pay. I don't.
Well, you
use-
gonna
I don't
show
have
us?
receipts anymore.
You gonna show us?
I'm gonna let me have 5 minutes. I go to the closest gas station and I can show you the price. That's it.
Okay. So you don't have anything, ladies and gentlemen. That's Asler, ultimate
Oh,
Trump
my.
supporter. We're gonna send him where he belongs, straight to hell. Never had.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
He lives 5 minutes from a gas station. That's crazy too. All right.
I
All
mean,
right.
it's just wild to me that the
Yeah.
people that are on this app that are saying that we have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, I'm looking at you, Janae. I'm looking at you, Stacy. I'm name dropping. You know what I mean? The Russian
Yeah.
bears.
Yeah.
Your whole life is Trump. So, like, what
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
What are you?
They have nothing to offer us, and they know it. They're a bunch of liars. But all right, Zeepak Zeus has to move it on, brother.
Oh.
I appreciate you as always, ladies and gentlemen. WZeepak. All righty then. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, look at this. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Big Zeus, unfortunately, has to get up out of here. It has been one heck of a show. Kabir, I was trying to get you up here. I don't know if you're still there, but I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give each and every single one of you. You're not going to do, I can't do the 3 hours and whatever we did yesterday, but I appreciate, honestly, every single one of you that take time out of your morning to tune into such an awesome and amazing show. Zip it, Tiny Tank Top Tom. I gave you and your friends the opportunity to come up in here and actually bring evidence about what you're talking about. And we all sat here and waited very patiently. So I don't even want to hear it. All right. It's just disgusting. But again, thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Without you, this show wouldn't be as entertaining, educational, and as engaging as it is, seriously. But I also want to do one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. This goes out to each and every single Zeus hater out there, and these are not just my haters. These are also your haters. They sit around on this app on their knees, begging for Big Zeus to show up and show out on their shows because I don't treat them correctly on my show. But then I tell them to come over to my show and they sit there and they hide on their backup accounts because they're afraid to get up here and be confronted. And as a matter of fact, isn't it funny? These people will never ever turn their cameras on, but they claim they're beautiful people. I don't buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send them where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and on that note, take care and have a great rest of your morning. We are out of here. Where are we at, ladies? Okay, yeah, we're out of here. Look at all the Trump supporters. Look at all the Trump supporters come out right now. This is the heat. They see the kingdom is now starting to retreat. And okay, is it safe to come out? Yeah, right. We did 500K. W to the cow. Thank you, everyone. Wow, good job, Nutty. You rallied the troops. MAGA sucks orange juice. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ah, thank you there. We did it. Hey, let's go, let's go. We got 500K. WQ dog. So sorry I didn't get to bring all of you lovely people up today. It's very hard. But you know, I know y'all will keep. Yesterday, y'all did a number on me, but we'll survive. We'll survive. W Heaven, keep up the good work. W Reggie. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. And this is another incredible show. I mean, we spread love. You hear that, Rocco? I spread love on this platform. You hear that, Russian Bears? I spread love. What you do is hate. And at this point, don't just screen record one video. Post the whole show, gosh darn it. Post the whole show. Let's go! Camara! My sister, let's go! You know what, they get mad at you when you do that. Oh my gosh, you just sent them. You know what you just sent them when you did that, Kabira? You sent them to the insane asylum. WPA. All right, let's get some drill, baby, drill. And then we're out of here.
Kamala Harris's war, Pennsylvania Energy.
Thank you, everyone.
Because she's going to ban fracking, right?
Yeah, I normally don't like to talk about the Russian Bears, but I said this show, I'm going to make sure they know I'm talking about them, all right? Hey, Russian Bears, you want to know why your poll numbers are so low? Because you don't know how to drill, baby, drill like we do.
What they want. They always go back. She can't help it.
Here it goes.
She's a radical left Marxist. She can't help it.
They don't want to
end that, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill.
Tell them.
Drill, baby, drill.
Let's send the Russian Bears, ladies and gentlemen, to the insane asylum again. We've already done it, but let's go ahead and totally annihilate them. Here goes.
We're going to lower your taxes to insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack, frack. Drill, there's a black frack, frack. Say, baby, there's a lesser baby energy. Up in there, she was a guest, stuck in a guest, all the stuff, and then all the stuff, and then all the stuff, about a year and a half ago, when she was getting killed in the past, she said,
I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to they come back to my show, right, Russian Bears? Keep on coming back. And we're gonna end that. You can look, but you better not touch. You're gonna have to lay there and burn because I want nothing to do with you. So post the whole show. Thank you, everyone. Hey. So much money, we're gonna pay down our debt, we're gonna lower your taxes. They've never had anybody lower their taxes. Here it goes. We're gonna frack. Hey, Russian bears. Nobody wants to lower your taxes. Nobody wants to frack with you because you're ugly. But I could be wrong. All you gotta do is turn on your cameras. W this. Here it goes. Here it goes.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter.
That part.
They say, why would he mention Hannibal?
Come on, Russian bears. Why?
We're gonna lower your taxes.
Oh, you don't know about that.
Insane asylums.
That part. You don't know.
They go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal.
Hit it. I laugh because I know the Russian bears. They will never ever be able to drill, baby, drill at all. They won't be able to frack, all right, because they're going to be in their lives today crying. Zeus beat us up because he drilled, baby, drill. It doesn't matter to me. Let's go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when. All right, come here, come on. Hey, all right, I was kidding. How much debt you got? We're gonna pay off all your debt. All right, trust me. Oh, you got some taxes? All right. I was kidding when I said all of that. All right, we'll lower those taxes because guess what? What we're gonna do is quite simple. We're gonna drill, baby, drill like you wouldn't believe. And then when we get done, we're gonna frack, because there's so much liquid gold underneath our feet. But all you gotta do is turn on your camera so we can get to it. I'm going to hell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing.